Hello and welcome to Dean Park Station. This is a very quick July update. Progress on the actual layout itself continues to be slow due to the nice weather. It's probably around about averaging 23 degrees up here, which is fine if you're outside with a bit of wind, but if you're up here it's quite stuffy. So I've kind of limited my progress to making some scale scenes kits, which I'll show you in this video, some progress. So I'm hopefully going to be finishing that off fairly soon, and lining myself up for the autumn, which will be major gravelling and weathering of track in the station area. 2 or 3 new additions as well to put on the layout. If you want to watch the video, you'll find out more. Cheers now. I've got my hands on a Bachmann buffet, station buffet. This is in the current range, the coder bell on the bottom of the screen. It's a smart little item actually. Fits well with my kind of concourse area of the station. I'll have some seating around there, and I'll have you know, some information boards, so passengers waiting on a train can nip in for a snack or a coffee. Obviously that'll be under the roof as well. It just sits nicely there, lets passengers pass on each side. So I'm quite pleased with that. Picked it up at Model Railways Direct, had a sale on, got it for under 20 quid, so that's a bit of a bargain. Especially when I was going to buy it anyway. So also picked up this Hornby line side hut with AWS boxes. Don't know where that's going to go yet. It's a resin model, it's from their range, and so that'll go track side with you know, some gravel and some weeds round about it. But I'm not quite sure if it's going to go at the station. It might go in there, because it's going to be quite a gravel overgrown area there, or further down on the main line. So I say it's got options. Here's the latest addition to my steam fleet. It's world famous 4468 A4 Pacific Mallard. This is part of the 510 limited edition The Great Goodbye set, and it's certificate number 319. While looking for another A4 bittern in the garter blue, I came across this one, and it's an opportunity I couldn't miss. Application of paintwork is superb. The detail, as always on the Hornby A4, is quite impressive, with the roof vents and all cab detail. And this one even comes with gold tipped levers and handles in the tender there, and it's got the silver painted handrails. Everything on the front is standard A4, from the chime whistle to the lamp irons to the couplings. A lot of the A4s, especially in this set actually, I've heard came with bits and pieces broken off and missing, including the very fragile lamp irons, but they are, on this one, certainly all where they should be. It's not running yet, it's not actually turned a wheel. It's been in the box since I bought it last month, and I plan to get it, you know, running and chipped, and have it running on the layout on kind of special charter. Quite impressed overall with the model. Here's where the station building is sitting at just now with regard to construction. As you can see, I've got the tower fitted, which is a bit of an alteration there on the actual kit. I've cut a lot out of it so that the tower almost sits flush with the front. This is so that it fits on my layout. If you were not to alter it, the tower here sits a good, you know, 70mm further out, and it looks really good, but I mean it takes up a lot of space, and I can't see many layouts having the space for that. I've also reduced the width of it by about 30mm as well, so you know, I've cut about 100mm of it, and it's still a big structure. So you know, word of advice: if you go and buy this station kit, you know, make sure you're placing it in a location that's got, you know, enough room to make it look like it's supposed to be there, not just crammed in. Or you could do what I did and, you know, and reduce the width. The roof's been fitted, so the inside stuff is now all sealed up. I've wired it for lighting. I've got 2 lights upstairs, 2 lights downstairs, and 1 in the hallway, which will, will light out the front here, the booking area, etc. I rescued the windows from my previous attempt at this. I think if you look at video 13, I think, of my layout updates, I showed you this building, oh goodness, about 18 months ago, but I didn't use enough glue, or I used cheap quality glue for spraying the card on to the brick paper, and it lifted. It actually lifted before I'd finished it, and I thought, oh, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. But when I put it up the loft, the intense heat last summer, before I lined it with silver foil, caused it to ripple, and it just annoyed me, so I just ripped it up and started again. So this has taken me a fair few hours to do so far, and as you can see, it's nowhere near finished. It's not got the pitched roof on it yet, and it's not got the detail where the white areas are. This bit here is the top dome, which will be covered in a kind of copper, oxidised copper clad finish. I'm hoping to get that done this weekend, and that'll be placed in the top there. I'll then put all the details on, and then I'll make the roof to fit this, altered. This shouldn't actually sit cutting into the roof, but as I said earlier, I've adapted it so that it fits my layout. So there we have it now. Hopefully in the next clip I'll have more progress on it to show you. And after that, it's really moving on to other parts of the layout, and I'll give scale scenes card kits a wee bit of a break. Okay, the roof for the actual station building here has been modified. Because I've obviously got the tower that's cutting into the actual building structure, I've had to cut round the profile almost of the tower into the roof. It took a bit of practice, but I used my old one as a kind of template, and the old one actually fitted, but I thought I'll just make a new one, and I'll compare the two and decide which one's going on the actual building. As you can see here, I've actually had to layer the strips of tiles to give it that almost three-dimensional effect. It gives it a bit of relief as well, as opposed to just being printed flat, which is, run your finger up there, you can hear it. I'm quite chuffed with that, it's quite realistic. Just use Pritt stick, every single layer got Pritt sticked on, make sure you use enough or it will start to lift through time. Hopefully this will last the test of time. Right, I've now built the dome, and I've covered it in this copper clad paper. It looks quite impressive actually. Fitted the wee dormers and the vents, and it's got obviously the cap at the top there. In the instructions it says to use medium thickness card, but I've used thin card just to allow me to flex it easier around the former that you saw in the previous clip. It's not glued in place yet. That'll just a wee dod of UHU glue just to hold it down, and then obviously I'll be putting the capping around the top of the tower to kind of fit it in place. I've fitted some of the detail on the front of the building now, all the plinths and the cornices, and I say it's starting to look better. There's less white instruction parts, if you like, and it's looking better. I've also fitted the detail to the corners of the towers and at the back there, and also that goes on the side of the building. So all it needs done now is finish off the detail in the tower, and then start adding the capping to the tops of the walls, and fitting the roof that I just showed you there. And the final part will be fitting windowsills. So it's looking better. It's looking better all the time, and we're nearing a completion date on this, and hopefully I'll have it just finished off for the next update.